Alright. Hi guys. So I just pulled some morning cards and I just wanted to share them with you guys. We'll share the energy to where everybody can kind of see what this is about. So this is the energy of when there's things that we try to work on, things we try to fix, things we try to fight for, things that we try to mend and hang on to, and we kind of get to the point to where it's just like overwhelming, to where like it's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? How can I fix this? How can I mend this? How can I, you know, and it's almost as if like we stress ourselves out to the point to where it's just that stress itself, it slows down and messes up the manifestation process, you know. And it's crazy because the Seven of Swords in reverse, it actually came out, and I paired it with this Tower card that came out, and that's whenever we just stop and admit to ourselves, like, this is not working. This is not fulfilling. This is not what I would like to be spending my time on. This is stressful. This is making me anxious. This is provoking from me very negative emotions. This is not it, basically. It's crazy because, like, I had watched a movie on Tubi. I love Tubi. And actually, no, I'm going to share that whole story with y'all. Okay, so the other day I was at the library and there was this movie that I came across. It was called Fast Color. I wanted to get the movie, but they denied me. They told me I couldn't get the movie because I had already owed back a bunch of stuff at the library that I lost. But long story short, I came home and I was just like, man, I really wanted to watch that movie. So I was looking online, and I finally came across it, and I had an opportunity to watch it on Tubi. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I ended up watching the movie on Tubi, and one of the sayings that was in the movie was, if it's broken, just let it be broken. Like, it's not something that we can fix, basically, And I don't know, I really advise y'all to watch it. But in the movie, the woman, she wanted to go back and basically repair her bond with her mother and her daughter. And it got to the point to where she realized, like, this is really broken. Like, I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do. It got to that point, and she had stormed off in her truck. And when she got in her truck and drove away, like, when she made up in her mind that it was it, that it's over, that it's done, there's nothing else she could do, that's when everything changed for her. That's whenever she came to a deep realization of something that was very important, and long story short, whatever needed to be fixed and mended and repaired, it wasn't her bond with her mom and with her daughter. It was really within herself. It was really her having to control herself, y'all would have to watch the movie to know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's called Fast Color. You can watch it on Tubi. But it was something within herself that she needed to repair and really pay attention to. And when she fixed what was inside of her, that's when everything fell into place, And I don't know why, when I looked at these cards, I had like this instance of a hurricane. But, when we hear of hurricanes, we think, oh, that's horrible. Like, it's a natural disaster, and it really, it causes a lot of damage. It tears up cities and things of that nature. But what we a lot of times don't pay attention to is after hurricanes or after tornadoes, that's when the community comes together. That's whenever a new city can be built. That's whenever buildings that were probably abandoned finally get torn down and they're able to be rebuilt. They're able to be remodeled, And it's not until those disasters occur, though. It's not until those moments of, when things are really falling apart where we have an opportunity to rebuild. And that's really crazy because I actually had a dream. My dreams are like extremely vivid. If that's something that like any of y'all don't know about me, every night I have very, very realistic dreams. But I had a dream that somebody was building a table out of cardboard. It was like really strange, but to outsiders looking in, that may have seemed like something really simple. Like, oh, okay, cardboard table. That's not nothing special. But it was just the principle behind it. That person in the dream, they learned how to build a table. That was like a mini accomplishment in that person's life, but they never would have had that opportunity to use those skills or tap into their abilities if there was already a table there, if nothing had actually happened to the real table that was there. It's like a lot of times when things fall apart in our lives, or when they don't work out, it's just simply making space for something new. It's simply making space for other opportunities, But it's not until we let go of trying to control things or trying to, I just heard in my mind, like trying to stop a train, The train is going to go where it's supposed to go, And there's nothing we can do to stop that process. We may not like where that train is headed, We might want it to go east instead of west. But if that train is designed to go west and we try to get in the way of it, y'all ever seen somebody that tried to stop a train that's going in full speed? It tends to trample all over that person. And it's like the same thing with our life. When we see our life headed in a certain direction, a lot of times it could be scary because we're just like, no, I don't want this to be into the divorce. I don't want this to end to this. I don't want this to be that. I don't want this, And when we try to fight against nature, because that's really what this is nature. When we try to fight against nature, y'all, when we try to fight against certain endings in our lives that are supposed to happen, when we try to fight against certain things that are meant to fall apart in our lives, when we try to stop that, y'all, not only do we get into the universe's way and cause ourselves unnecessary pain and agony and stress, but we also slow down the process of building something beautiful after it. We delay our opportunity to basically experience the after, because once again in that movie Fast Color, her daughter, she had special gifts, and she was explaining to her mother that after she would use her supernatural abilities, that she would see colors afterwards, like very, very beautiful colors that move very fast. And she said it would happen after she accomplished something big, which her supernatural abilities, she was able to take things apart. She was able to break things down, specifically metal, and most people, they would probably look at a piece of metal and be like, why would somebody want to take this apart? It's put together, why take it apart? But the beauty in that movie is that that's what her gift was. It was taking things apart that other people could not. And then she had the ability to put it back together. But it was certain things that she just could not put back together. And one of the things that she couldn't was glass. Glass is meant to be shattered, but metal itself is more, it can be pieced together, But metal itself, when she was able to break it apart, she was able to put it back properly. Only, and I don't know what I got off of that, like just now, now that I'm thinking about it. Metal is of substance. Metal is solid. It can be mended. It can be put back together. You can't really break metal. It's just you can bend it. But unless it's in the form of aluminum, of course. But the glass. Her mom wanted her to use her gifts on glass, and that was kind of like an aha moment to me, really, just now, because it's just like certain things are not meant to be put back together. Because even if we tried to put it back together, it wouldn't be like the original thing itself. But the process of us admitting to ourselves, is this working out or is it not? Are we happy with what's going on or not? Because I believe there's certain battles that are worth fighting, but there's some things we absolutely have to let crumble. There's some things we have to let fall apart, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, every time I see it, I just think about bad karma or just being stuck in cycles that are very painful, that are very stressful, because a lot of times we try to make things work that, some things are meant to be worked out, and then there's other things in our lives that it's just kind of that's where acceptance come in. This is where we are right here, right now. I think everybody has been in a relationship or marriage, and if they haven't, they probably will experience it, just for good karmic balance and lessons. But even friendships or family dynamics, where we see the things are kind of complicated, not really going smooth, but we stay. We try to fight. We try to make it work. We try to compromise. We try to negotiate. We try to get on the same page. We try to see eye to eye. We try to make it work. We try to make that person happy. We try to shape shift, and hopefully if we change ourselves, they'll be happier. We try, and we try, and we try, and we try, and we try. And it gets to a certain point to where we have to really be clear with ourselves and be honest with ourselves. Is this even worth, me stressing myself out? Is this something that's in my control? Is this something that's even supposed to work out, Because a lot of things in our lives that crumble, I cannot tell y'all how many people I used to have in my life, especially in middle school, and I do not talk to any of them anymore. And it's just there's some half of me that's just I just missed out on my social life, da 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 da. And then there's this other half, how would those people even fit in my life today now anyway? I have children. Most of those people in my generation, they don't, how would they even understand me? How would that even add up, And it's just certain things in our lives are actually meant to fall by the wayside, but it would be up to us to decide on what those things are, But the Seven of Swords in reverse, that really stuck out to me, because that's honesty, that's clarity, that's being open and honest about ourselves, what in our lives are working and what's not working. Sometimes maybe it ain't nothing major, maybe it's something simple, what ain't working in our lives, snacking, for instance. Lately I have been snacking. I've been eating Cheetos and Reese's and things of that nature, and it's I'd have to say to myself, okay, self, is this working for you or is it not? Is this gonna help me get to where I want to go? Which, me personally, I want a very active and healthy lifestyle. And it's just do these Reese's fit into that lifestyle? You know, this birthday cake fit into this lifestyle? Do my Cheez-Its and these Cheetos, do they fit into that lifestyle? And that's where a moment of clarity and honesty comes in. It's just like, no, they don't. They don't fit into where I am headed, you know? And it's like that raw honesty, of admitting what's working in my life and what's not. Who in my life fits where I want to go? Who fits this reality that I like to manifest for myself? Let's say, for instance, if I don't know, I just had like the case scenario, like for instance, like if it's like a gang member or something, like if their life is filled with violence and all of this good stuff, like if that's what they grew up in, and it's like they think to themselves like, this ain't it, I don't want to just settle for this ain't how I want the rest of my life to look. So boom, they start to think to themselves, I want to be around people that ain't on violent stuff. Like I want to be around sophisticated people. I want to get out the hood or something like that. And it's just like having to ask themselves like, who and what in my life will be able to help me manifest this new reality of peace, so where it ain't a bunch of violence around me. And that's when certain friendships will have to come to an end. That's when certain connections and a lifestyle itself will have to come to an end, But in that case, it's like the gang member would have to decide within themselves, like, do I want to continue to hold on and stay and fight in this, although it don't, do I want to stay here? Because I don't want to let go of these friendships. I don't want to let go of my homies. I don't want to let go of, my neighborhood. It's those thoughts compared to, I want better. I want change. I want to get out of this, It's like that's whenever we would have to make that decision within ourselves, Because I know we all want better in some type of way. We all want to manifest a newer reality, But it's just like, and it's crazy because this actually ties into the video that I just got done uploading about attitude versus gratitude, Where a lot of times we slow down the manifestation portal in the process because, in that video is because of us, filling ourselves with very negative emotions because we're not happy with where we are now, like not being appreciative of where we are right now. But in this reading, it's just like, okay, instead of being appreciative of where we are, it's like being honest about, is this working or is it not? Is this going to help us get where we are going? Like for instance, how I told y'all, I want my lifestyle to be healthy and active and, it's just like, okay, who in my life does not fit that? Like, just, and a lot of times when it comes to like people, it's like we have to see that it's not so much that we're being judgmental, but it's using our better judgment, basically. Who and what in my life will help me to reach this goal or this lifestyle of healthy? Who and what in my life fits that image of where I am headed, that path of where I am headed? It's like basically doing a spring cleaning, like we're bringing in summer. Okay, time to put away the winter clothes. Time to separate summer clothes from winter. There's things we have to get rid of. There's clothes that we have outgrown. There's items that we no longer use. It's like basically getting rid of what is not going to be beneficial to where we are headed, And a lot of times this reading could simply just be cleaning up our area, I don't know about y'all, but like if my area is like not straightened, at least straightened, like it doesn't have to be perfect, like it doesn't have to be sparkly clean, but if I'm not organized, like physically in my house, if I'm not organized or if my kids have a bunch of toys everywhere, I get extremely frustrated and it makes it very hard for me to stay focused on the task at hand. My environment, it really does affect me. It really does, and a lot of times I don't reach that place of clarity and calmness within myself until I clean or until I put their toys away, So it's like cleaning out the clutter. What in our lives is considered junk? Who or what in our lives is considered clutter? Like, who is or what is like not aligned with what we are trying to do, you know? And everything just starts with self. It really does, you know, because I just keep referring back to that movie. Like, she really thought that mending her relationship with her mom and daughter, like, she thought that was the solution. She thought her solution, you know, involved external things. But it was things inside of her that she had to mend. It was realizations that she had to come into terms with inside herself. You know, what works for me, what does not work for me, you know? And I wish y'all could see how these cards are set up. But I just heard in my mind less is better. Yeah, on the right side of the card, this is where the negative energy is, like the pessimism, overworking, anxiety, the fear, putting in work or situations that are draining our energy, you know, trying to make things work that ain't even making us happy no damn way, you know. For a lot of people investing money in the shit that ain't even worth it, you know, but kind of thinking ourselves, well, I done already invested my money into it, you know. And on the left side of the card, which in the middle is self-realization, self-actualization, you know, where we come to that clear, you know, the revelation that this shit ain't working. It just ain't working, you know. I don't like that I'm having to stress myself out to make this relationship work. I don't like that I'm stressed the fuck out trying to make this marriage work. I don't like that I'm stressed the fuck out trying to keep my family together. I don't like how it's making me feel. I don't like the effects that it's having on me as an individual. It's like those types of realizations. And then on the left-hand side of that actualization and the realization, that's where you have the Four of Swords in reverse, which is coming out of that energy of self-defeat. You know, because a lot of things in our lives, when it don't work out, we start to blame ourselves like, damn, what could I do different? What do I need to do better? Is it me? Am I the problem? Am I not smart enough? Am I not good enough? Like, we get to feeling all insecure and shit over some shit that's supposed to crumble. You know, the marriage relationship ain't working out. We blame ourselves and get to thinking, okay, well, maybe it was something I did. Maybe it's something I could have done different, you know, which, whether it's true or not, you know, certain things are supposed to come to an end. Certain things are supposed to fall by the wayside, and it's up to, like, we have to make sure we're not taking it personal, you know, because what if it's in God's creation? Okay, this marriage relationship or this family dynamic, it falls apart so that you can focus on self. What if that's the goal? But instead of us saying that it's to focus on self, we see it as, damn, self did something wrong, and we just start beating self all the way the fuck up, you know. And it puts us in a really bad energy, you know. But Four of Swords in reverse is coming out of that energy of self-defeat, coming out of that energy of stressing ourselves out, trying to figure shit out, trying to make things work that are out of our control, coming out of that. And when we come out of that energy of stress and anxiety, because oh my goodness, y'all, I did a reading on myself last night, and I realized something about myself. When it comes to how I manifest in my own personal life, I realized that I had this tendency of getting in a very anxious energy. Like, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest this, I'm going to manifest this. Like, really anxious. And something I learned, y'all, in that reading, which was very fucking powerful, is that we're not supposed to manifest out of an energy of fast pace or restlessness or anxiousness. We're supposed to, and that's crazy because there goes the card, the Magician card. He's in the process of course, mixing up his little chemicals or whatever so he can, you know, do his little magic spell or whatever. But he's in a calm state, y'all. He is calm. He's peaceful. And when I tell you he's so goddamn peaceful, he actually has a little garden around him. You know? And to add to manifesting from a place and spirit of peace and stillness, in that movie that I mentioned to y'all, Fast Color, it's crazy because there was this song playing in the background, which I don't know if y'all know about movies, but if y'all pay attention to what song is being played, a lot of times it can help you to predict what's about to happen in the movie. But anyways, the song was "There's a New World Coming." The one that we know is coming to an end. But the new world is coming in peace. The new world is coming in joy. You know? And we can even apply that to the world here today, right now. A lot of people, they get scared like, oh, the world coming to an end, new world order, you know? But what if the new world, the new way of things being, comes in quiet, comes in peaceful, you know? I just heard in my mind like a thief in the night, like a change that happens right underneath our nose, a peaceful transition, you know? And it's like that's where it becomes easier to manifest and to create a new reality when we come from this place of stillness, getting grounded within ourselves, reaching this place of stillness. And once we can reach this place of stillness within ourselves, that's when it's just like, okay, now I can think clearly. Now I don't have all this stress and anxiety and, you know, fear and all of that. I'm coming from an empty mind. I'm coming from an empty heart. You know, I'm grounded. Now, what type of reality would I like to manifest? And asking ourselves, whatever it is we're trying to figure out and fix, asking ourselves, does this situation or do these people or this person or this relationship or marriage, does it match my energy of stillness? You know, when we reach that place of peace within ourselves, asking ourselves, this marriage, is it aligned with this peace that I have with myself, or does it bring me chaos in my life? Does it bring me stress? Does it bring me, depression? Does it bring me anxiety? This place of peace that I have entered into with myself, the friends that I have around me, do they add to that? Or do they just add confusion into my life? You know? So, a lot of times, we have to get to ourselves. A lot of times we have to remove ourselves from what we are trying to fix, even if it's just a step away to clear our own fucking mind. Because if we're trying to, let's say for instance, if a relationship, marriage, or family dynamic, what if it is meant to work out? How on earth can we find the proper solution to make it work if we are right up on it? It's like we have to get to this place of calmness and stillness. It's kind of like, y'all know how like when some people get scared, they freeze up. It's like their brain is trying to fucking get to this place of stillness and calmness and calm itself down. But sometimes it calms itself down too goddamn much, because it's kind of difficult to come up with a solution under stress. It's difficult to come up with resolutions, how we can make a marriage work, how we can make a relationship work, how we can make a relationship with our mama, daddy, sister, brother, when we are right up on it. It's hard to reach a place of stillness in the middle of a goddamn storm. It's hard. And if y'all can find me somebody that know how to stay calm when there's a bunch of crazy shit going on around them, you can bring that person to me, But we have to reach this place of stillness within ourselves. And instead of trying to find a solution ourselves, trying to mend it ourselves, once we get into this place of calmness and peace and stillness within ourselves, that's when spirit guides us. Ain't that amazing how we come from trying to figure shit out to ourselves to going to ourselves, reaching this place of calmness, and allowing spirit to tell us what the fuck to do. You know? Because a lot of times we think certain things are supposed to work out that it really ain't. And we think certain things that's not meant to work out really are, or things that they're not, it just leads to a lot of confusion, and we beat ourselves up because we can't find an answer, we can't fix this, we can't do this, which a lot of times just that thought itself, I can't, is what makes that the reality, but reaching this place of stillness to ourselves and allowing spirit to come in to guide us on these situations, that's when the Ace of Cups is presented. Ace of Cups, this is like an opportunity, that's an idea, that's it's like mental clarity, basically. That's when the answers come to us on if that is something that's meant to be mended or not. But it's hard to manifest a new reality in the midst of chaos. It's really hard to do that. All my spiritual people, and it's crazy because I made a video a really long time ago. Well, not a really long time ago. I think it was like last week. But I was saying how everybody on this planet, we all possess this spirit. That's this spirit is what makes our heart beat. This spirit is what allows our blood, to pump and flow through our body. It's the spirit that gives us breath. It's inside every single last one of us, meaning that we all have the potential to tap into it and tap into its gifts. We all possess spiritual gifts simply by having a spirit. But how on earth can anybody tap into their spiritual gifts or tap into spirit just in general around a bunch of fucking chaos, around conflict, around tension? How? It's impossible, because spirit doesn't communicate in a bunch of fucking chaos. Spirit likes to show itself when we are to ourselves, when we're still, when we're clear-minded, when we get away from the circus, But a lot of times we like to take it upon ourselves to fix things, or to figure out shit. And when we can't figure it out, we fall into this spell of, well, damn, I can't figure this out, and we start to beat ourselves up when it's not meant for us to figure certain shit out by ourselves. Certain situations we're supposed to call on spirit for, we're supposed to pray for guidance on, because sometimes we do not see things clearly with our own two eyes, So that's why there is power in getting to a place to ourselves. There's power in walking away sometimes, even if it's just temporary. There's power in prayer. There's power in divine guidance, But, and I will also say, a lot of times life becomes extremely chaotic, so that we can get overwhelmed to where we do end up just saying, you know what, fuck it, I need guidance, because there's always deeper messages. Like, that's something I always want y'all to remember. Like, there's always deep messages. Spirit is always trying to communicate with us, always. But a lot of times we aren't able to take heed because we are too close up on our opponent. We're too close up on the problem itself, And it's not until we get away. And that's where clarity comes in. That's whenever the answers kick in. That's whenever the solution comes to us, when we reach that place of stillness. When we ground ourselves. Because in that movie, y'all would seriously have to watch that movie. It's called Fast Color. Fast Colors. It's on Tubi. But in that movie, when she had stormed off from her mother and daughter anyway, she got out of her truck. And things got so overwhelming for her that she took out running, and she basically threw herself on the ground. And something I learned a really long time ago is that when we are like on the ground, specifically like in nature, that's whenever like we're closer to spirit anyway. That's like a good grounding technique. And it's like when she did that, that's when she got her answer. That's when she knew how to take control of her spiritual gift, because throughout the movie, her spiritual gift was actually causing a lot of disasters. It was causing a lot of ruckus in her life and the life of people around her. And I'm telling y'all, if we are not okay within, everything around us, it just goes to waste. Everything around us is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. You know, it's a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So that's why it's important for us to have these moments to ourselves. That's why it's important to ground ourselves and reach this place of stillness. And that's whenever we can think clearly. That's when we can, properly discern things. That's when we can have that spiritual guidance, because our little bitty old brains can only think about so much, It can only figure out so many things. But this third eye, the spirit inside of us, it can figure out everything. It has the answers to everything. Any problems in our lives, any answers that we're searching for, they are all inside of us. Because the spirit is inside of us. The spirit, it knows all and it sees all. It has the answers to every single thing. Any questions that we ever had is inside of us. But we have to get to that place of stillness, get to that place of peace so that it can communicate and so that we can hear it. A lot of times we have to declutter our own minds and declutter our own hearts so that we can make space for a spirit. Although spirit is already inside of us, a lot of times we could have so much fucking clutter in our brains that we can't even process the thoughts of the spirit inside of us. Because a lot of times spirit does communicate through thoughts and through visions and through, you could actually hear. It's like the more clear we become, the more easier it is to hear. And it's crazy because the word ear is in the word clear. But no, that's when our spiritual ears work the best. When our mind is clear. When our heart is clear. When we're not stressed the fuck out thinking about our relationship, our marriage, our friends, our family, and what they doing, how they doing. And we can declutter our minds, when we can declutter our energy field, because a lot of times, a lot of y'all listening to this right now, y'all could simply be picking up on other people's shit, like, that's, to me, that's like the downside of being an empath, because I could be completely fine, but if I go around people and they are filled with stress, they are filled with anxiety, I pick up on that shit and it just completely throws my shit off. So that's why a lot of times I do not communicate with people. So I try to explain it to people, but some people still find a way to take it personal when I don't talk to them. But it's just because I'm picking up on them, because I could be calm, my mind could be clear, and all it takes is one fucking phone call. All it takes is one phone call for my brain to become cluttered with that other person's thoughts and anxieties, their fears and their worries, So a lot of times I stay to myself and I only reach out to inspire or share like little funny videos or something like that, But it's important for everybody to learn how to reach this place of stillness within themselves. It's important that people learn how to declutter their brains, declutter their energy sphere, their energy field, and getting rid of whatever it's bringing them anxiety, getting to the source of it, But, yeah, it's not until we reach this place of stillness, and that's when all the messages from spirit, they just hit. And like, when I tell y'all, like, that's when all the messages from spirit hits. Like, you start to see things from a different light. You start to have answers to things that you did not before. You start to have this level of understanding of the situations that you were trying to figure out on your own. It's like you just start to understand things so much more clearly, you know? And it's crazy, because you know how there's the different spiritual gifts, like you got clairvoyant, clairsentient, all of them have the word clear in it. And clear is actually like a derivative of the word clear. Those are like, people with spiritual gifts are simply people who have learned how to clear their minds, clear their energy, clear their hearts. Those are just simply people who have learned how to declutter and allow spirit to send and communicate messages to them. That's all spiritual gifts are. When we clear our energy field and we can properly hear the spirit, everybody has that ability, but everybody has different stress factors in their lives, and that's what pulls us away from our spiritual gifts. Everybody is stressed the fuck out about bills, what I'm gonna do next, what I'm gonna feed my kids, how this gonna work, is my husband cheating on me, is my wife cheating on me. We have all these fucking stress factors. We have all these jumbled ass intrusive thoughts, and all they do is get in spirit's way of communicating with us. But it's not until we can clear our mind, it's not until we let go and stop trying to control shit, it's not until we step back and allow life to be life and let it take its turns. There's gonna be some times when life take turns that we don't agree with, and I have had my fair fucking share of those, but trying to stop life is like trying to stop a fucking train. Going to get trampled over every time. And it's not until we get off the goddamn train track and, allow that train to take that turn, whatever turn it takes, learning to make peace with it, which a lot of times is really hard. It's really hard, It's really hard. Because, like, I'll use a perfect example. Whenever my grandmother had passed, I actually, I had a conversation with God. I'm like, God, you got all these fucked up people on the planet, and you decided, take my grandmother, and it just did not sit well with me for the longest. It really didn't. And I'm still actually in the process of still making peace with it, and it's crazy because I had a thought to myself, which it was completely off topic, but it was on time. And I got to thinking to myself, like, if I was ever to hurt anybody's feelings, it would be like, if I said or did anything and it hurt their feelings, it would simply be how they took it. It would never be because I had the intention to hurt them, because anything I say, anything I do is thoroughly fucking thought out. Like, I don't go around intentionally trying to hurt people. So if I do hurt somebody, it's because I'm unaware of it. It's simply because, that may have been just how they took it. Because I would like to say I'm one of those people. I try to talk to people the best way I know how. I try to be considerate, and it's like, I felt like that was spirit talking through me. Like, any decision I make in your life, I'm just doing what I feel is best. And sorry, y'all, I'm crying and shit. I've been crying so much lately, y'all. But this is part of the cleansing process, But I felt like that was spirit talking through me, What I would say to other people, it's like that's what spirit was saying to me. Whatever I did, whatever decisions I made, it might have hurt you. But, that wasn't my overall intent, So Sorry, y'all. But yeah, I'm still making peace with that, but we just have to know and trust that Spirit knows what it's doing. It makes decisions that we may not always agree with, but Spirit is very logical. Spirit, it has all the answers. It knows all, it sees all. So if it makes a decision, it's a clear fucking decision. It's very fucking clear. And we may not see, or know, from our little bitty old brains, but Spirit knows what the fuck it's doing. So if it looks like something in our lives is crumbling, something ain't working out, we have to know and understand there's a reason why Spirit is orchestrating it like that. We have to know and understand there's a reason why this marriage is falling apart. We have to understand there's a reason why this relationship did not fucking work out. There's a reason. There's a reason. And if we want that reason or want the answers on how we could fix things, if it's fixable, we have to get to ourselves. We have to reach that place of stillness so that Spirit, when it communicates to us, we can hear it clearly, because we got the 6 of Cups, and that's about generosity. It's like Spirit wants to help us. Spirit wants to give us the answers. Spirit wants to communicate with us, but it cannot if we are in the midst of the goddamn storm. It can't offer us comfort in the midst of our storms if we are trying to fight back. It can't. The Spirit doesn't work like that. Just imagine if it was 2 people arguing, and they arguing over some shit that the truth about. You could tell them, like, whatever truth you have, it will calm down both people's hearts. It will help both of them understand each other. Like, you have the answers to whatever concerns they have. You have the ability to calm down both people's hearts. But if these 2 motherfuckers is yelling and throwing shit at each other, fighting, pulling each other hair out the shit, how on earth can you communicate that to them? Because Spirit ain't the type to yell, But hey, sometimes Spirit do shake some shit up so we can hear. I'm not gonna lie about that. But, 2 people arguing. You got the answers that will calm both of their asses down, but they are in the process of fighting. They not listening. They not hearing you. They not comprehending. They're blinded by their anger. They're blinded by their anger, blinded by their emotions. They're too deep off into it. And it's not until they get done fighting, where you get to tell them, like, this is what happened. That's why this person feel like this. That's why they feel like that. And then they just like, oh. And you just like, yeah, I was trying to tell y'all asses that, but y'all was fighting. Y'all was too busy. It's like Spirit is the same way. We beat ourselves up. We get stressed out. We get fearful and all this good shit. And it's not till we calm down where Spirit is like, this is what I was trying to tell you. This is what's going on. This is why this happened. This is why this is falling apart. And we're just like, oh, so you mean to tell me I didn't have to stress about this? It wasn't my fault. That was supposed to happen because this, oh, And that's the tower moment where we come to this realization that was supposed to happen. That's why this happened. Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. I got it. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with y'all. Just know everything's happening like it's supposed to. And if we want understanding, that's why this Spirit is here. This is the Spirit of truth. We're supposed to ask questions. We're supposed to have concerns. That's absolutely normal. Are we supposed to stress over them? Hell no. We're supposed to go to Spirit. And to go to Spirit means to get somewhere quiet, get to ourselves, and clear our minds. Let go. Stop trying to figure shit out by ourselves. And pray for guidance. Pray for those answers to come to us and make space for those answers to come. Make space in our brains to comprehend. Make space in our hearts to feel that energy and that comforting presence of Spirit. Because if Spirit is trying to put comfort in our hearts, but it's filled with anxiety, it's filled with anger and bitterness, like there's more and less. The less we have in our minds, the better. The less anger, the less anxiety, the less grief that we have in our hearts, the better. Because that's where spirit can fill our brains with the answers we seek. Whether they come through the form of dreams, visions, or thoughts. And if it's not that much clutter in our hearts, spirit can put comfort in there. Spirit can put reassurance in there. Spirit can put courage in there, bravery, strength. But we have to declutter. We have to make space. We have to let go of the shit that's causing these things, And sometimes, I don't know if y'all are like the people like me, but like subconsciously we hold on to shit because that's the only connection that we have to certain things. Like, for instance, my grandmother passing away, the grief that I have in my heart is really like the only thing I have left of her, but really it's not. There's other things that I have. It's just I've been subconsciously still holding on to this grief because I can actually feel it in my chest, and that's like a toxic and unhealthy way that I've been holding on to her through my grief. I can feel it in my chest. It's like I can, like the grief here in my heart is like, oh wow, my grandma's still here, because I can still feel the pain in my chest, but I would have to let that go, so that I can make space for comfort in my heart, But, yeah, y'all, everything happens as it's supposed to. All the answers, they lie within us, but we have to make space for those answers to be clear. I don't know why I just thought about something that just had like a bunch of dust on it. I don't know if y'all know about Ouija boards. I don't advise that y'all get them or dive into them or anything, but Ouija boards, they hold messages. And just imagine if you were digging up a Ouija board like out of the ground, like you found it. It may hold a message to it, but you would have to clean off the board. You would have to dust it off, blow off the dust and shit so that you can see it. Or if it's like a letter that has been delivered to you and it got a bunch of dirt, like I just had that in my mind. Like when we have a bunch of clutter in our minds of things that we're stressed the fuck out about, or feelings in our heart like resentment, anger, like that's dust, y'all. That's dirt, basically. And it's not until we blow that shit away where it becomes clear. The messages from spirit, the feelings and the presence of spirit becomes much more clear. That's our goal on this planet, to get clear with spirit, to hear clearly, to see clearly, to feel the presence of God or the spirit clearly, but it gets tainted and covered by all these external things that we process, and we get the stimuli from it and we get negative vibes off of it and shit. All this does is create clutter, debris, dirt, grime, but we have to basically do like a spring cleaning inside ourselves. Our problem is not our job. Our problem is not these bills that keep piling up. Our problem is not the relationship that failed. Our problem is not the marriage that failed. It's not that. It's not the loss of a loved one. That's not our problems. Our problems is that we have developed these feelings and these anxieties, and we keep overthinking this shit. The problems are inside of us. Meaning that the solutions is inside of us, We are our problems. We are the ones holding on to shit. We are the ones stressing. We are the cause of our anxiety. It's us, y'all. Us. Not our wife, not our husband, not our kids, not these bills, not our job, not our boss. We are the problems because we are allowing it to affect us. We are allowing it to clutter our brains. We are the fucking problem, y'all. And as much as we are the problem, we also are the solution. We're the solution because we can declutter our own brains. We can declutter our hearts of feelings that do not need to be in there, But, yeah, this was a very beautiful read that I had for this morning. I wanted to share it with you guys, and I just pray that y'all take something very powerful from here. As much as we're the problem, we're also the solution. It's hard to find answers in the midst of chaos. Spirit doesn't work like that. Spirit communicates always, but we only hear it when we're to ourselves and when we are in a clearer space, where we're not harboring negative energies, where we're not overthinking shit, you know? So the goal is to become clear-minded and to clear our hearts of feelings, baggage, bitterness, anxiety, anxiousness, depression. Our goal is to clear our hearts of that shit so we can make space in our brains for visions from God or from Spirit, and to make space for thoughts from Spirit. Sometimes Spirit communicates through thoughts. There's many ways that Spirit communicates, but if we're too busy focusing on how we gonna pay rent, how we gonna pay this, how we gonna make our marriage work, how we gonna get our kids to behave, how we gonna do this, what we gonna do, what we gonna eat, it really becomes complicated for Spirit to communicate with us when we are worried about shit that is out of our control. But it's just like, once again, if you see two people arguing, shit, they tearing each other hair all the way the fuck out, busting each other shit up, and you have the answers to their problems. You can calm both their asses down, but they ain't listening to you. They not listening. They're too busy. They're blinded by their emotions, But, yeah. I'll go ahead and let y'all go. I hope this was a big help to y'all. I hope this was a big eye-opener for you guys. And, the goal is to get clear, y'all, to stop stressing. The goal is to clear our minds, to clear our hearts, so that Spirit can communicate to us on what to do, The answers that we seek are inside of us, but we have to get clear. We gotta blow away the dust, clean up the dirt. We have to, But yeah, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. I love y'all so much. Okay, and until next time, ta-da.